Namaskar and welcome to Express News, where we give you 100 news items in quick time. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with the recipients of the Rashtriya Bal Puraskar 2020. The 49 awardees included children from various states and were felicitated in fields of art and culture, innovation, scholastics, social service, sports and bravery. Addressing the Rashtriya Bal Puraskar winners, the Prime Minister said that they are a source of inspiration for him. He urged the children to visit the National War Memorial to connect with the brave martyrs from their states. Prime Minister also said that the time has come to put duties towards the nation first rather than rights. He said the brave children were a shining example of this. Electioneering is gaining momentum for the forthcoming Delhi Assembly elections. Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah today held 3 rallies in Mustafabad, Karawal Nagar and Gokalpuri. And BJP National President JP Nadda addressed Nukkad Sabhas in Pandam Nagar and Vishwas Nagar in Delhi ahead of the Assembly elections scheduled for the 8th of next month. As election fever caught on in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia also addressed public meetings in Dwarka and Harinagar. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal held a road show in Janakpuri. He also was accompanied by a large number of AAP supporters during the road show. Union ministers including Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Giriraj Singh and Prahlad Joshi were in Jammu and Kashmir today as part of the government's outreach program. The HRD minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank addressed a public meeting and inaugurated 25 smart schools in Srinagar today. Union Minister for Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries Giriraj Singh visited the Central Artificial Breeding Station at Hakkal in Jammu. The Union Minister held discussions with scientists and officers to explore new possibilities for doubling farmers' income. Union Minister Giriraj Singh launched a 33 kW recording station under the Rural Electrification Scheme in Jammu and Kashmir's Sudha Mahadev. Later, he laid the foundation stone of a tourist cafeteria in Sudha Mahadev. While addressing a program, Giriraj Singh said that 5 new medical institutions were launched by the Modi government in Jammu and Kashmir. He also assured the people of Jammu and Kashmir that development plans for the state will benefit everyone in all aspects. The Finance Ministry has tweeted on the delivery of budget promises with regard to geographical indications. The government has launched mission of linking traditional creative industry with economy and wherever it requires protecting international intellectual property rights. No case of coronavirus infection has been reported in India so far, with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare regularly reviewing the evolving scenario. The Secretary has written to all the states to review their preparedness, identify gaps and strengthen core capacities in the area of surveillance. In the wake of the coronavirus outbreak in China, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has asked all airlines to follow International Civil Aviation Organization guidelines for managing and notifying anybody reporting illness on flights originating from China and disembarking in India. Director of AIIMS, Delhi, Dr. Randeep Guleria, has said that AIIMS has an isolation ward and all precautionary measures are in place for healthcare workers so that the coronavirus infection does not spread. Devotees in large numbers took a holy dip in the Ganga at Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh on the auspicious occasion of Moni Amavasya today. The ghats along the Ganga were swarming with devotees since yesterday as hundreds of devotees reached the Magh Mela ground ahead of the Moni Amavasya. The National Girl Child Day is being celebrated across the country today. It was started by the Union Ministry of Women and Child Development on the 24th of January 2008 with the purpose of spreading awareness among people about the inequalities that girl children face in Indian society. Ministry of Women and Child Development urged the public through Twitter to celebrate the girl child as on the occasion of National Girl Child Day and become part of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao mission. Awareness campaigns, rallies and door-to-door campaigns were organized across the country. In support of Citizenship Amendment Act, a delegation of concerned citizens comprising retired judges, civil servants and armed officers of the army met the President Ramnath Kovind today. The delegation said that they were concerned with the violent protests against CAA and insisted that protests should be done in a decent manner. The yoga guru Baba Ramdev has said that violent protests against CAA carried out by students across the country has tarnished the image of the country globally. He appealed to the students to focus on their careers despite the protests against the CAA. The Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro arrived in Delhi today on a traditional visit to the countries that are going to be the chief guest for the Republic Day. He was welcomed at the airport. He's on a 4-day visit and will be the chief guest for this year's Republic Day celebrations. The Supreme Court today refused to entertain a plea challenging the imposition of National Security Act in a few states amid the anti-CAA protests. The apex court said it cannot pass a blanket order with regard to the imposition of NSA and asked the lawyer to withdraw the plea. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar today said that the vast experience of the BJP's newly elected President J.P. Nadda will give a new impetus to the party. The minister extended greetings to Nadda and wished him a successful tenure. The market regulator SEBI has asked for an individual to disgorge 4.9 crore rupees, latest by January 31, for failing to comply with takeover regulations in the matter of Orient Trade Link. The amount has to be paid along with a 10% interest from August 1, 2019 till the date of actual payment. Cautioning investors over PACL's illegal money pooling case, the market regulator SEBI has advised them against dealing with any property where the group has interests. SEBI found Pearls Agrotech Corporation to have collected more than 60,000 crore rupees through illegal schemes over a period of 18 years. Gold prices jumped 96 rupees to 40,780 per 10 grams today due to rupee depreciation. Silver prices also climbed 238 rupees to 47,277 per kilogram from the previous close of 47,039 per kg. Crude oil prices on Friday rose by 51 rupees to 3,982 per barrel. This is as speculators created fresh positions amid positive global trends. The rupee fell by 7 paise to end at 71.33 against the US dollar. The Sensex ended 226.79 points higher at 41,613.19. The Nifty has risen 67.90 points to 12,248.25 today. The European Union chiefs signed off on Britain's EU divorce agreement today, and with the formal endorsement, the text will now go to the European Parliament on January 29 for ratification. Then diplomats from the EU member states will approve the deal in writing, ensuring Britain's orderly departure at midnight on January 31. Democrats continued their arguments at President Donald Trump's impeachment trial for removing him from office, but the Republicans showed no signs of softening their resistance to the Democrats' case. The Democratic Representative Adam Schiff, who is leading the prosecution of President Trump in the Senate impeachment trial, gave an emotional concluding statement on day 2 of the arguments, telling the senators that right matters and the truth matters. President Donald Trump returned to Washington from Florida just as the U.S. Senate was wrapping up the day 2 of the opening arguments in his impeachment trial. Trump returned to the White House, ignoring questions from reporters for his reaction to the trial. The U.S. President Donald Trump to announce the Middle East peace plan in the coming days. The U.S. President said that the Palestinians might react negatively to his plan at first, but it would benefit them. President Trump also said that Palestinians have rejected the peace plan before it even comes out. Meanwhile, the Palestinian president spokesperson has said that the Palestinians warn Israel and the U.S. administration not to cross any red lines. The announcement came ahead of a White House visit early next week by leading Israeli politicians. President Donald Trump opened a new front in his battle against immigration on Thursday, barring the issuing of visas to pregnant women seeking to enter the United States for so-called birth tourism. Residents scrambled for supplies, clearing out supermarket shelves and market stalls in Wuhan on Thursday as a city is in lockdown. Most transport in Wuhan was suspended and people were told not to leave. Hours later, neighboring Hongguang also announced a similar lockdown. The Chinese city of Wuhan is building a dedicated hospital with 1,000 beds to treat patients, which it aims to complete in 6 days. As of Thursday, there were 830 confirmed cases and 25 people have died. Most of them are in Wuhan, where the virus is believed to have originated in a market which traded in illegal wildlife. 14 people have tested positive in the UK for the deadly coronavirus, which has claimed 25 lives in China. The British government has admitted to increased likelihood of its spread in the country. The WHO has declined to designate the ongoing outbreak of a novel virus in China as a global health emergency. The WHO said it's too early to declare it an international public health emergency in response to the rapid spread of the new coronavirus from China. WHO chief further said that health officials are sufficiently equipped to combat the outbreak in China and in other countries. WHO has said earlier also that every country should be prepared to deal with the cases of the virus. It's not recommending any additional restrictions on travel or trade. Rohingya Muslims living in refugee camps in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, expressed their gratitude after the International Court of Justice ordered Myanmar to take urgent measures to protect its Rohingya population from genocide. The ruling Nepal Communist Party has won 16 seats out of 18 in the National Assembly, the upper house of parliament. Its alliance partner Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal has bagged the remaining 2. The election for the 18 vacant seats in the National Assembly was held in all 7 provinces of Nepal on Thursday. Members of Mexico's military police pushed against an advancing group on Central American migrants on Thursday as a new wave of people crossing its southern border with Guatemala tests the Mexican government's resolve to stem the movement of people north towards the United States. Brazil is observing the first anniversary of the dam collapse that killed hundreds of people today. The environmental scars of the dam collapse also affected indigenous tribes living off the land. Water bodies in the area were left polluted. Hundreds of Argentines took to the streets of Buenos Aires on Thursday to demand justice for the murder of the 19-year-old Fernando Baez Sosa in a killing that has shocked the South American nation. In a rally to celebrate the 62nd anniversary of the fall of the dictatorship in Venezuela, President Nicolás Maduro has hit out at the U.S. President, the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, and announced that he is ready for top-level talks with Washington. He also called U.S. policies on Venezuela a failure. Israeli police said that they are investigating after a room was ignited in a mosque on the outskirts of Jerusalem and Hebrew graffiti was found on an outside wall. The graffiti was hard to make out but appears to have been left by ultra-nationalist Israelis. Angola's ex-president, the daughter of the ex-president, Isabel dos Santos, who is at the center of an anti-graft investigation vowed to fight against this alleged misleading and untrue allegation. Dos Santos is accused of using her father's influence to steal millions of dollars from the state companies and siphon off these funds overseas during his rule. Amnesty International on Thursday urged Nigerian authorities to halt the forced eviction of shanties and waterfront communities in the economic hub of Lagos. Lagos has in recent years seen repeated forcible evictions of poor communities living in prime locations as developers look to cash in by building high-end properties. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has threatened to end a pact key to the annual war games with American troops if the U.S. does not restore the travel visa of an official who oversaw his drug war. Singapore's interior minister was sued by a Malaysian human rights group in a bid to prevent the city-state from enforcing its law against false information in Malaysia. Singapore has denied the allegations as untrue, baseless and preposterous. Thousands of Iraqis rallied at two central Baghdad intersections after a prominent cleric called for a million-strong protest. This is against the American military presence following the US's killing of an Iranian general and an Iraqi militia chief. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, they attended the opening ceremony of a new campus at the Turkish-German University. And during her speech at the ceremony, Merkel called the university a gem in the relationship of the two countries. A tanker truck carrying gas exploded in a residential area of Lima in Peru, leaving at least 2 people dead and about 50 injured. According to the witnesses, the explosion occurred when the truck hit a pothole that damaged the bottom of the truck and caused a gas leak. Devastation in Spain after Storm Gloria left a trail of dead fish off the coastline of Colera Beach in Valencia. And the National Weather Authority there said that the storm had begun to recede, but more than 100 roads remained closed and tens of thousands of students were kept out of the school. Now, following months of devastating bushfires and severe storms recently lashing the country, Australians have now been warned of the influx of deadly funnel-web spiders. Well, Australian Reptile Park issued this public warning that recent hot and wet weather conditions have created perfect conditions for the spiders to thrive. The beauty pageant contestant in Mexico is breaking all beauty stereotypes, and in which the 24-year-old model Ana Gabriela Molina, who was born without arms, but her disability did not stop her from seeking the crown of Miss Veracruz. The doomsday clock was moved closest it's ever been to midnight as atomic scientists warned of increasing threats around nuclear war and climate change. The doomsday clock was created in 1947 by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists as an indicator of the world's susceptibility to apocalypse. A Turkish aid group began building 10,000 briquette houses. That's briquette is out of coal, and coal bricks, that is, in Syria's northwestern province of Idlib to house the thousands of displaced Syrians fleeing attacks in the region as Turkey fears a new influx of migrants. Spanish police rescued 270 small dogs, many crammed inside cages and in poor health, and arrested 5 people after raiding 2 illegal puppy farms on the outskirts of Madrid. And police said that the breeders had cut some of the dogs' vocal cords, possibly to prevent them from barking and alerting neighbors. Freezing water from burst pipes has turned a housing block in the Siberian city of Irkutsk into something more closely resembling an iceberg than a residential building. Despite its dilapidated appearance, the building is home to a dozen families, although only 4 of them have valid social rent contracts. A small group of adventurers led by Mammoth Pro team athlete Caro North and the mountain guide Guillaume Martina set sail for the southern tip of South America on a trip through the Drake Passage towards Antarctica Peninsula in search of unforgettable skiing and climbing experiences. Giant pandas Ru Yi and Ding Ding took the world of panda fans by storm this year as they received multiple awards from the Giant Panda Global website. The goal of the awards is to draw attention to people who work with animals in captivity, helping rare species such as pandas to survive. A group of young Afghanis took to the streets of Kabul to challenge stereotypes and encourage local youth to express themselves through modeling. A group of 16, including 12 men and women, donned in traditional Afghan outfits as they turned to the central Kabul street into a catwalk. China is hosting a number of cultural programs to greet the upcoming Lantern Festival. Hundreds of dancers performed in Zhengzhou city in central China, including an underwater dance to welcome the festival. In the largest genetic study of its kind, researchers have identified 102 genes associated with the risk of autism spectrum disorder, a condition that impairs a person's ability to communicate and interact. Scientists have created small organs in a laboratory which can be used to mass-produce natural snake venom. It's the method that could be commercialized, and it could tackle the huge unmet medical needs of new treatments for snake bites. India defeated New Zealand in the first T20 International at the Eden Park in Auckland by 6 wickets. Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul scored 50s, captain Virat Kohli scored 45, and with India winning, India now leads the 5-match series 1-0. Rain delayed the action as South Africa is locking horns with England in the fourth and final test of the ongoing series of the Wanderers in Johannesburg. England won the toss and elected to bat first. Currently, England is leading the series 2-1. Rafael Nadal passed up a good few chances for an earlier finish to his night before muscling his way into the third round of the Australian Open with a commanding 6-3, 7-6. A 6-1 victory over the Argentine Federico Delbonis on Thursday. The match lacked nothing in quality par tennis, but was almost entirely devoid of drama. Nick Kyrgios secured a 6-2, 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 win over Giles Simmons in the second round. The 23rd seed, Australia's best hope of a men's champion in Melbourne Park, appeared on course for a straightforward victory with a cushion of 2 sets and a break against the 35-year-old Frenchman. Former champion Stan Wawrinka of Switzerland reached the third round of the Australian Open for the first time in 3 years after beating Italy's Andreas Seppi in 5 sets, 4-6, 7-5, 6-3, 3-6, 6-4. The Romanian fourth seed, Simona Halep, powered into the third round, defeating the British qualifier Harriet Dart 6-2, 6-4 in only 77 minutes. Windy conditions on Rod Laver Arena saw the pair trading breaks of serve at the start of the match before Halep steadied the ship, winning 4 games in a row before serving out the set. Defending champion Novak Djokovic took only 85 minutes to defeat Yoshihito Nishioka 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, and then reached the fourth round of the Australian Open. The second seed was ruthless with his serving and also efficient, breaking the Japanese world number 71 5 times from 6 opportunities. A tearful but happy Caroline Wozniacki headed into retirement on Friday after 7-5, 3-6, 7-5 third round defeat at the hands of Tunisia's Ons Jabeur. Ended her participation at the Australian Open and her 16-year career as well. The 29-year-old said last year that Melbourne Park, where she won her lone Grand Slam title 2 years ago, would be the site of a final outing as a tennis professional. Serena Williams gave a brutal assessment of her Australian Open defeat by Chang Wang, calling her own performance unprofessional after a 3-set loss. Williams said that she made too many errors, but she insists she's still capable of matching Margaret Court's increasingly elusive haul of 24 Grand Slams. Serena trails the Australian by just 1. Liverpool's march to the Premier League title continued as Roberto Firmino's late winner at Wolverhampton's Wanderers gave them a 2-1 victory. This was Liverpool's 22nd win in 23 league games, and with this win, Liverpool took another significant step towards their first EPL title in 30 years. Liverpool's manager, Jurgen Klopp, has hailed Jordan Henderson after his unbelievable performance helped Liverpool beat Wolves 2-1 and maintain a 16-point gap at the top of the Premier League table. Henderson opened the scoring after just 8 minutes in the match. Tottenham's midfielder Eric Dyer denied that there is negative atmosphere at the club under Jose Mourinho, and the Spurs went 3 league games without a goal before beating Norwich in midweek, and then the players are said to be unhappy with Mourinho's training methods. La Liga giants Atletico Madrid suffered a shock exit in the Copa del Rey, losing to the third-tier side Cultural Leonassa in extra time. It is the first time since 2011 that Atletico have lost to a side from a lower division of the competition. Caleb Iwan took his second stage win of the 2020 Tour Down Under on Friday in Murray Bridge, putting on another impressive display by coming past Sam Bennett. However, the Australian cyclist Richie Porte kept the overall lead in this event. Sebastian Capellan and Keegan Bradley grabbed a share of the lead in the first round of the Gulf Farmers Insurance Open on Thursday, while Tiger Woods gave a solid display in his first start of the year as he guns for a record-breaking 83rd PGA Tour victory. The Red Bull Formula One driver Max Verstappen paid the start of the WRC Monte Carlo Rally a visit on Thursday, conversing with the six-time champion Sébastien Ogier and the nine-time winner Sébastien Loeb. Hundreds of locals and biking enthusiasts joined the funeral procession of, this is to pay tribute to the motorcyclist Paulo Gonçalves. Gonçalves died on January 12th during the seventh stage of this year's Dakar Rally. Freshly crowned surfing world champion Italo Ferreira fast battling waves of Rio de Janeiro's Lebanon Beach and popped several feet into the air to cheer fans. After decades of trying, surfing finally has scored a spot at the Olympic Games this year. British actor Daniel Craig has confirmed that No Time to Die will be his last Bond film. The 51-year-old had made his first appearance in 2006 Casino Royale. Bollywood actress Katrina Kaif was among those who attended the screening of the web series based on the Indian Army's INA fight for freedom from British rule. The director of the series, Kabir Khan, actors Vicky Kaushal, Shweta Tripathi, Minnie Mathur were there as well. The teen sensation Billie Eilish, the body-positive singer Lizzo and Gay, and the black country rapper Lil Nas X lead the nominations for the Grammys this year, favors women and newcomers over established stars. The biggest weekend in music got off to an early start yesterday with Warner Music's pre-Grammy party that saw singers Gwen Stefani, Blake Sheldon, Gary Clark Jr. in attendance. Angelina Jolie and the BBC have teamed up to create a show that will help young kids spot fake news. A follow-up to Captain Marvel featuring Oscar winner Brie Larson in the title role is finally taking shape at Disney, and Marvel hoping to find a female director for it. After Netflix's live-action Witcher series released great success, the platform has now ordered an anime film. This is on the same franchise from the iconic Korean animation house Studio Mir. The Broadway musical based on the 2004 Tina Fey movie Mean Girls will be getting the film treatment soon. Tina Fey, who wrote the film and the Broadway show's book, said that the characters are her Marvel universe. Musician Taylor Swift helped kick off the annual Sundance Film Festival in style, greeting fans and then posting for a photo call at the premiere of a new documentary, Taylor Swift Miss Americana. The Malayalam megastar Manmuthi's latest film, Shylock, has received positive reviews from the critics as well as its drawing audiences. Abhishek Bachchan has shared in Instagram a glimpse of his titular role in the movie Bob Biswas. It's produced by Shah Rukh Khan. The reality TV star Kim Kardashian has been sued for her posting her own photo on her Instagram account without the photographer's permission. Kim had shared the picture with her 157 million Instagram followers in October of 2018. And that's it in Express News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.